And I have a funny feeling I'm glad we're on getting started. I think I had some copyright music stuff, so that'll all be cut out before this. So hopefully it's just plain sailing. I'll probably re-upload this afterwards because of the music sounded way too good there. I was wondering why. I think I was on normal music lists. So it's been fun. You think I'd learn this all at this stage, but no. Where are we going? We're going to look into sections, intro, CSS. Let's change this to this and this. Oh, yes. Big square blocks. Beautiful. Nice. Okay, so then we can do border radius 50%. I should definitely have this all as variables and things, but let's copy that. All right, we have that. And then what we need to do is add a blur to everything. So yes, I seen there was loads of Next.js stuff. It's great. I think it's up and coming. It's definitely something to learn. If you haven't yet, it's definitely worth looking at. See, Brad Veresi just put up a really good one as well. Who knows, Paul? Who knows? Anyone could pop in. We always know that. Anyone, literally anyone could pop in. If Jay is around, he is always welcome. Ping me, Jay, if you want to jump on and annoy me in person. If you're bored, I don't know if you're streaming yourself or not. Yeah, Jay's always here and ready for messing as well, thankfully. Let's jump into this. Where are we going? We're going to say the index.css. Let's go in there. Look for the body. And I'll say, I don't even know if this will work, but what I'm going to try and do is add a background blur to everything. It's probably a bad idea, but I'm going to try it anyway. So we'll say the body before, I'll just use one. It's such old habits of doing this. Or we'll say position of absolute. I think we have to give this some content as well. Width of 100%. Height of 100%. And what is the syntax for that again? Boom, boom, boom. NetNinja is awesome. I've seen NetNinjas. I might as well stop competing when there's NetNinjas. His stuff is so good. To be fair, it's some of the best stuff for just picking out the bits you need as well. It's excellent. Great for reviewing, because a lot of times with the big crash courses, I often get lost when I'm looking back at things. Let's check out, where am I looking? I'm all over the place. There is the blur. Okay, yeah, backdrop filter. And then what's index.css? I was in doing this, wasn't it? Nice. Okay, that kind of worked as I was expecting, I guess, because everything is blurred. And the scroll is causing a little bit of issue, so I need to put an over scroll. Yeah, I need to put X hidden. All right, but still scrolling out. I'll play around with that in a minute. That's collateral damage. Let's put this to like 44 and see where we get. Okay, that's getting better. 100. Okay, that's way closer to the styling in this. Maybe even more. Let's go 150. See how crazy this looks now. Yeah, there we go. That's blurred nicely. That's so blurry. So there was text here. It's all blurred out now. So we need to Z index it, I guess. So Z index of -1. Or is this 0? Can I do 0? Well, no, that still breaks everything. So it's -1, and then the two elements need to be -2, I guess. So we can go into intro. What's wrong, Jay? What is wrong? Am I doing this in a horrific way for you? There's definitely a better way, and that's killing Jay. Okay, so then there's margins or something on this that's causing havoc. So let's have a look. I don't know what it means to blur the plane on top of them, so let me try that. So you add, what would I do? Add a background. How would I blur the pane on top of them? Do I put a pane over them and then blur that rather than blurring out the entire background? Because right now, I'm no good at making using like singular elements, so I feel like I'd be just throwing in loads of divs to get what I wanted out of this. Oof. Yeah. Yes. You should, Jay. You should explain this to me because I'm not too sure about the forms because I've never used this blur until last week, so I am definitely not well versed in the ins and outs. Hold on. Let's. There's another big beard. Beard gang. Speaking of beard gang, thinking juice. Where? Now, let's have a look. This is great. I'm going to do some beard videos in the near future. I think I'll pivot away from web development. So I need to, okay, I'm applying blurs to each element, which causes more paint. Okay, because I'm doing it to everything on the DOM then, is it? Because it's on the body the way I messed with this? So I'm going to try something then, just so I know if I'm doing it right or wrong. Then is get these as elements. Maybe I should I make the circles their own elements so I can use them, or should I excellent. I'm going to get a performance boost now and totally derailed and side railed very soon. So these circles are not meant to be blurred. So if we look at the design, these ones are in the front, so it's nearly in layers. So we have the blurry background. Way in the back, we have the blurry big circles, and then we have two fronty circles, I guess. But it's these ones. Let me Google this. Blur element CSS. Okay, so there is a blur. Oh, okay, so there is a blur. And that's what I was missing. So I should be using this, I'm guessing, which would really help. So if I go to the index CSS, remove all this for a second, and I go into this, what's that look like? Oh, okay. Oh, I'm an idiot. So I just need to do that. That's way better. Jay, when you get on, I can teach you, because there's actually a blur function. I bet you didn't know that. That's definitely not why you were crying. So then I don't need this messing of z indexes anymore, because it all makes sense, which is way nicer, because z indexes are a nightmare to control. We have that, which is the after. This is top right minus 0 minus 50. Do I copy and paste code from Stack Overflow? Not code that I don't understand. I did when I started, but when I was early in my career, I had to copy and paste code, and often I didn't really get it. But as you improve, you'll get more comfortable with just finding pieces of solutions and stitching them together rather than thinking it's all just one. All right, I can't wait till you get on now, Jay. I'm really interested in learning this, because this is something you were talking about in performance, and we've had a few messages about it, but I didn't really get it, obviously. All right, so now we have this good fun in here. I think I'm ready to be offended. How old do I seem? I'm ready to be offended. Paul. I wish. I wish. Oh, to be 45 again. That'd be nice. This is good fun. This is definitely going to end up with me humiliated. All right, let's go into this. Where are we going? I'm going to add the navbar, I guess, until Jay gets here. So let's make a navbar component. I've got module.css, and we will we finally got some LinkedIn visitors. Great. I should bring up a photo of me without the beard. The funny part is the only picture I have myself without a beard that's somewhat recent is actually at a Rocky Horror Picture Show event. So I'm also in women's clothes, which doesn't really help my case because I think you're distracted because I'm wearing see-through women's underwear. So it's not it's not something I'll share. It's the picture I show and somebody says, "What did you look like without the beard?" So rather than looking at my face. Okay, import styles from there. Where is this? No, it's not there. Praveen is here. Welcome, Praveen. Intro. Where am I going? It is styles. I'm just making sure I'm not calling it because sometimes I switch style and styles. So the MVP, Praveen, welcome. Oh, and you switched over to say hello on LinkedIn as well. That's hilarious. Ooh. All right, let's go back to my nav and we will say export default function nav, and we will return everything. Actually, yeah, isn't it? Yeah, it's, what am I doing? Should this go be a nav? So why wouldn't I use a nav? And in there, I'm just going to say hello for the moment, just to make sure we have it wired up. Can I do one live stream daily? Believe it or not, I am lucky I have the time to do a stream once a week at the moment because I have a day job that takes up often 16 hours of my day. So if you ever see it, I'm not posting stuff, it's probably because I have a busy week. Like at the moment, I'm hiring more developers and things. So I'm often stuck in interviews and everything else for whatever else is going on. Now I am going to, do I have an index in here yet? No, I don't. Let's put a new file in here. Yeah, but if you're looking for all that glassmorphism style and all of that, remember to follow Jay. Glassmorphism is Jay's favorite style and it's predominantly what he does. So definitely follow Jay for all the glassmorphism bits. He loves doing it and he doesn't just hate me at all for it. Got loads of messages here. Let's see what's going on. How's the stonks doing? How are the stonks doing today? Everyone? Yeah, see, that's a quote. That is a quote from Jay. I'm pretty sure he said that. Best use of CSS ever. Doesn't make him cry because of the performance issues and compatibility issues that it causes at all. Is anyone else watching that madness of the stonks while I'm messing around here? So let's go and import. What is oh yeah, and some fragments for the sake of it. Ah, nice. And we get this lovely now. Let's jump into the nav. And see what we need to do. We need to have the, what do we need? We're going to put a div for, we'll call this logo for the moment. I'm going to give this just a random class name. We'll replace this with an image afterwards. Class name is going to be styles dot logo. And then we're going to have a group with, what do we need? We need this. We need a couple of, I'm just going to put in divs for the moment. We can just target all the children elements to space it out. Hello world, no div. Call this class name links. All right, perfect. That is a totally acceptable nav bar now, right up here. Definitely acceptable. Not even nearly, is it? Okay, so then what we're going to do, how many screens have I got? I have one big screen. So let me see if I can take some picture. And I will put it up on Twitter so you can check the size of my screen. think that's gone. No. Live. I spelled it love. Live now on YouTube, I guess. Tweet. All right, look, there is a mysterious person in the lobby.
Have you not finished it yet?
I can't hear you. Yeah, that's karma for you messing about my audio and things and making me go crazy over everything.
Have you not finished it yet?
Hold on. Why can't I hear you?
I don't know if anyone else can.
Yes.
My audio should be fine.
I can't hear you at the moment. Huh. Can anyone else hear Jay, or is it just me? You can hear him, but I can't. That's bizarre. Hold on. Then it's a case of me adding. Let me just jump over here to show you what I'm trying to do. Maybe. I don't know why I haven't needed to do this before. You can just flag me in the background there.
That is the best karma.
All right. Can I hear you now? No, I can't hear anything. What's that?
Because you.
You all capturing. Maybe that's it.
I hold my tongue. I've had a sabbatical for a
Still nothing. What is going on here? Disaster. Disaster strikes again. I definitely don't need this. Let's turn that off. We don't need Keynote. We need that.
Chat. Tell Niall how good his stream setup is.
Let me turn off Spotify for a second and see if that's causing any issues. No, I'm hearing nothing. How bizarre. How bizarre.
I've had a
Did I mute him for mocking your CSS skills?
Fresh trim as well.
That would be good if I wanted to mute him, but I don't. Let me see. Still nothing.
No audio. There's just no music now either, so I feel like I need to.
This is bizarre, Jay, because this is this has never been the problem. Usually it's just my internet that lags out, not that I can't hear you. Oh. Okay. Hold on, let me.
I'm just going to chat to chat. I'm going to host by myself for a moment.
Okay.
You're all having an awesome week. I'm going to show you. I got this really cool present at Christmas. But where's the rest of it? It's like a bag. It's like a bag of hand gripping, like exercise.
Oh, I got one of them from Amazon.
Oh, so you can hear me.
Well, I'm muting you for a second. I'm hearing me when I talk. No.
It's so cool. It's like this one. It's like.
Let's take a look. You.
Okay.
Oh, that's I should get them. They're awesome.
Yeah, one of my.
All right, I'm seeing you come through, but I'm not getting the audio. I'm not getting the audio. What is going on? Okay.
It was really unexpected, but it's really cool.
And you can see that the audio is here when you're talking, Jay. So it's working, but not working from my end.
Something to do
Is
with
there a way
your...
to put a separate monitor? No.
I think this one's the funkiest. It's
You
like a
vertical
web
slice.
for your hand, and then you just kind of have to open it. Yeah, that one's wild. I got stress stones. I got everything here. Everything here to try and keep me chilled and away from the, stressing out. I even got the new keyboard even came like yesterday, the day before. It's freaking tiny.
Hold on. I think I fixed. I was muted myself for a while. No, I don't do that, Jay. I can hear your lips moving with the microphone.
Damn it for having a good quality mic.
Noise gate. I was like, hold on, maybe that's my audio again. That's hilarious. That could have, I could have been here for a while with that. Should have just muted yourself, and I wouldn't have known what was going on. I just needed to start and stop my audio thing for whatever reason.
Down.
Yeah, where's the rest of that keyboard?
This one's sweet. So, I had a, I got a few keyboards, obviously, but this is what I was using. I was using a K4.
Nice.
A Keychron, and then they brought out this one, which is like a low profile K3. So
nice. Yeah, I like low profile. I think I'd rather the new one that you got. I like low profile.
Yeah, it's really good. I like both of them. I think people do complain that this one's a bit too tall, but I think it's all right if you have enough space. I think the problem is people cramp their forearms in, and then it feels really harsh on your wrists. But this one, there's no chance of that because it's tiny. But the best thing about these is they work across Windows and Mac seamlessly. There's a switch on the top. So
that's excellent. I'm going to get the link off you afterwards. Send us the affiliate link, and so I can put it into the link of this as well. Because that's pretty cool.
I'll grab it. There's I honestly, there's a 10% code thing that they send you every time you buy something. So, it's just I don't know. I think you get 10% off if you buy one or something. But they're
nice.
Really good.
All right, I'm going to stop messing with my glorious nav bar that I was working on here.
Where's your music on as well?
Oh yeah, let me put that back on. I'm hoping it won't break everything.
It's complete silence.
Now back to elevator music with Jay and Niall. Yeah. All right. So the blur. You said the blur function is bad to use. Did you?
I don't know, if it's bad. I mean, it'd probably be all right for what you're doing, but there's ways you can check how. I just when it first come out, I always try and use these things pretty early doors, and just remember it having pretty bad paint performance. But
yeah,
it kind of depends. It's probably a lot better now. You can check though. You could see how it's running. You could run a performance check in DevTools and check the composite painting and stuff, and it will give you an idea.
Yeah, I just want to get rid of the overflow X here for a second, because
what I was saying is I think because backdrop filter works better, you just underlay and overlay and put the filter in the middle, and then you're only filtering one thing.
So you're saying, so say that again?
So you've got these circles, right? So what you do is you just work out which ones are blurred and which ones aren't, and then just put a backdrop filter div in the middle, and then all the ones behind, and then you can easily move them about or add more or remove them.
Okay. So it's an extra element doing the backdrop thingy.
Yeah, but it would just act like a gate in the middle.
Yeah, makes sense.
the other way you could do it is where can I send you? I can send you links in StreamYard, can't I?
Yeah, there's a private chat there.
Because they don't come. I remember they don't come through in YouTube when I put them there.
Yeah, I had to block all the links for the explicit content that gets left in comments all the time.
But yeah, if you check out that pen that I just pinged you, and you can kind of see, like, there's a lot of elements here, but this is kind of the effect you're kind of doing. And you'll kind of see.
Let me share this.
It's a bit weird.
Let's have a look at this.
So
hey, I know this guy.
So it's slightly different to what you're doing, but it's a similar thing I am doing. So like I'm using a canvas here and I'm blurring the canvas, but this would probably work better. And actually a way I can check this, if you bear with me 2 seconds, I'll find out how much better the performance is. Because I can hear it. I can hear my Mac like not enjoying it particularly. But if I put, like all I'm doing is creating another pen, like literally as we speak, and then if I just do position fixed, then index 2. There's a nifty trick that I need to write up or put in a snippet. So whenever you've got a code pen, you can actually create a new one without forking it in a really nifty way.
How do you do that?
I wrote a bookmarklet. So you can take any pen ID at the top and then write CodePen/IO pen and then query string template and pass the ID, and it will generate a new pen from that pen. It's really
interesting.
Not a lot of people know that one, and it's
no, not at all.
Really cool.
So canvas big. So you're using the canvas element over everything. Fixed element. Blurred.
Yeah, so this actually prefers it a lot more. Let me just save this one.
So I need a canvas element, then I'm no good at the canvas. So I'm looking at even how you set up a canvas here.
No, it's not that bad. It's just because that one's a bit crazy. This is when I learned how to do canvas. This pen's probably quite old. I don't know.
Yeah, I've used canvas all of like.
To do what you're doing would actually
2 or 3 times.
To do what you're doing would actually be all right, because all it is like some circles and they just float around a bit. But yeah, I've just changed. I pinged you another link, and all I've done there is overlay a backdrop filter on the top of everything, and it kind of, you can sort of see how it just performs a lot better because it's not using a blur.
So what's changed? Where am I looking for the change here?
So all I've done is in the HTML, I've just put like an overlay element, and I'm just overlaying it on top, and I've just put backdrop filter blur with like, I don't know.
Okay, so add something.
But you can kind of, I don't know if it's noticeable on your machine, but like you can kind of sense that it performs better with that approach as opposed to blurring it.
Let me listen. Yeah, my machine's going to cry anyway because I'm running the stream off a MacBook as well. I was like, I don't know why I'm thinking this is going to be the thing that blows everything up.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that. Long gone are the days when I was using my Mac to stream because of this. Exactly. I was building.
I'll get the M2. Yeah, you do this all the time. I'm just building a website, so it's not really that intensive.
Yeah, so like you think though, I used to stream from the Mac, like, and make this stuff, so it just like it hated it.
Okay. Yeah, I could see why. So add an overlay element. I'm gonna put this in the intro for the sake of it.
Yeah, it might work. I think it depends what you want to do, because you're kind of caught because you want like backdrop filter, but everyone's like going ham on glassmorphism, but they don't like it doesn't work in every browser. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like defeats the point. Because it only works. It doesn't work in. I don't think it works in Firefox.
So then by backdrop filter blur.
Yeah, it doesn't work in Firefox. You have to enable it with.
So the overlay will be the same thing. Is blur Is blur more supported, or is?
Yeah, CSS filter is supported everywhere. Like just not Opera Mini, but but then blur just has the overhead of like you want to check the performance on it. So to do that,
Yeah, it's only 2-3 elements max that I'm going to do it with.
yeah, you just be surprised at how much it will hit because it has to paint that constantly with the DOM.
I need a refresher. Where am I looking for a performance profiler here?
If you go, performance on the top there, and then you should be able to run.
Record it and refresh.
They're not animating though, are they? Or are they?
No, they're just sitting there still.
Do they animate?
They won't. No, I might have this. Like I might have these, like the normal ones, move around a little, but not the background ones.
Why did I think they were animated? Did you have them moving before?
Maybe. No, I probably talked about it. Who knows?
Yeah, you'll be fine then. I think. I don't think it's about. It'll be all right. But yeah,
I don't know why this unblurs slightly. I need to figure that out. This just accidentally started doing this. I think the opacity drops must be on these things by default.
But yeah, all you do is you just go in. You just go into that performance thing and just like run a. You can either hit the refresh, so you see like that, and it will just do a profile as you load the page, and it will tell you like what caused the longest load and stuff. And it'll tell you things like what took a long time to paint. But this will be fine because it's static. It's going to be fine.
Nice.
But yeah,
that's fine. That's cool. I do remember this for animations. I just haven't ran this in so long.
Yeah, so it's kind of like for this it's like fine, but like when you do stuff like there's good little things in here, so you can like dig into FPS and how it's using.
Oh, look at that!
But then when you do things like more complex kind of like particle stuff, or like if you're doing more canvassy things, you can check for the like CPU usage, and as it's meant to do like this sawtooth. You're kind of aiming for this like sawtooth shape, if I remember rightly, where it like is allocating and losing it, which is like good. Whereas if it just keeps growing and growing, like it just uses up like loads of CPU memory and just the browser. So yeah, when you like learn, I think when I was learning Canvas, like the performance was more critical. I think now people just get away with it because machines are so good.
Yeah, I'm dying to get my hands on one of the new, like when the M2 versions of the Mac come out, I'll probably get one of them, and I'm dying for that.
There's no way I'm buying one until they support multiple monitors, because that's just ridiculous.
Do they not support multiple now?
No, you can only.
Oh, that's outrageous.
You can only power one monitor from the port, so it's like, what do you do? Like the Mac Mini supports 2 monitors, but you have to plug in 2 cables. So it's like
that's outrageous.
For me, like I hot swap, so I have like the Intel. Well, they're all Intel, obviously, but I just have like a CalDigit dock with 1 cable, so just plug that in, and it hooks up to everything, like the monitors, the webcams, the mics, everything. And I don't have to. I can just hot swap that to the MacBook or whatever else I'm using. But if I change that, I'd have to like use different cables and things. I just think it would be an absolute faff.
I think I'd get annoyed with all that as well. It's the I'm here trying to see hide that. Why isn't my body hiding that? I need to contain this.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping they're going to do something. I don't even know if they do like a if someone's going to come out with something where they do like a 2-port cable that is like a Y cable or something, I don't know. That would be cool. But
yeah, you see, I like my big monitor because I have one cable to my MacBook and it's everything. But right now I have 2 cables in, like one to a HDMI and one to the C.
Yeah,
and the C powers everything.
So on the monitor still has to take in 2 cables, right, on those huge ones, if I remember rightly. Yeah, because I nearly bought. Which one do you have? Do you have the Samsung one?
LG.
Yeah, I nearly bought the Samsung one. I was so close, and I was like,
yeah, that's the one Chris always recommends, isn't it?
Yeah, that's who has it. I knew someone had it.
That's who, because I nearly bought one because he was like, "This is the best thing ever."
Yeah, I was very close. In the end, I'm quite glad I didn't, because it works out quite well. But only because I need to switch between machines. But Chris was saying like you can split the screen in the middle almost and use it like 2 monitors anyway for different machines, which is like different inputs, which is insane.
Yeah, I have this split as this is too, like, because if I was using this on a 49-inch, you could imagine how stretched it would be.
Yeah, so you must be partitioning a bit off as like 1080p or whatever, and then
there's just a setting on a monitor. You just pick how many inputs you want. You can have it in, like, I could have my monitor nearly look like this stream in the sense of a little square. So if I just had a different device just monitoring something, I could have that as a square on my screen all the time.
That's cool. Because that was one thing that really threw me when I started streaming. I was like, oh man, I have no idea how this works. But
my last job, I did that for emails because it was so boring. I had the emails just open in a square while I could play games.
Yeah, I have like a 34, but then obviously I just changed the resolution to 1080p when I stream because the screen just the monitor automatically just resizes it and it's all right. But,
with some new guests in here as well. What is a use of Gatsby? I'm a newbie. Building SSD. Front end. Is there server side rendering in Gatsby yet? Or they?
Pretty sure.
Yeah, I think there is as well. I think that's made a big difference, but that's really helpful if there is. So pretty much, yeah, everything React basically. Yeah, pretty good if you're going to get used to GraphQL as well. It's a nice little intro to all that stuff as well, because you have to learn how to query via GraphQL. Son of Troy is here. How is the completing of my website coming along? It was going great, and I'm going to troop on through it. I think Jay's going to be able to help me out here in a second, because it's the same problem I always have when I start messing around with mad stuff. And Stefan is here as well. Do you know, I love the group of guys that we always see and always show up for all these things. Big props. Okay,
I appreciate it a lot as well, to be honest. That Discord is good. It's kept me sane.
It's nice. There's a great bunch of people in there. There's no pretentiousness or anything. Just such a good bunch of people. If we can keep it that kind of quality, we'll be laughing.
Well, yeah, on my I feel like I didn't really go on social for ages, but it was like 10 days. But yeah, it's kind of, you take all those things, you really appreciate them.
Let me see if this works.
Discord is so good.
Discord's amazing. My new favorite app after this week is Reddit, though, in fairness, with all the chaos. I've just never seen an app do so much chaos. Did you see any of that at all, or do you use Reddit, Jay?
It's one of those, like, I once thought, oh, I'll get a Reddit account, and then I just didn't.
Yeah.
It's just something else that's going to distract me. That's why I was quite glad to like not really go on Twitter at all. And I know it's kind of odd timing for me, because I think when I have been back on, I've seen people going on about like people just unfollowing everyone and stuff. and I get what people are getting at with people like going down to 0 or whatever, but I kind of understand why people just like have to cut loads of stuff off, because it's so distracting and you just can't consume the noise.
It's so noisy. It's so noisy for just the amount of stuff that, yeah, it's just not, it's not worth it a lot of the time.
Like it's such a catch like thing, because before 2020, like I barely used it. I think I was on like about, I don't know, 500-600 followers. I just used to post like the odd demo that I'd make, and obviously last year people started seeing it more, and now it's like and now it's kind of like, if I don't go on there, I'm like cutting off a big part of my like marketable direction with what I make.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Like it's kind of weird to think of it like that, but
yeah, it's a way to scream into the void a little. Stefan, can you hear Jay a little bit better? I forgot during all the messing of the audio earlier, I turned off the automatic volume controls on StreamYard, so I'm hoping it might be better now. And
yeah, my
Paul says he is pretentious.
Yeah, I sometimes forget that like that chat on that Discord is everyone, because sometimes it does just feel like we go off on a tangent.
Yeah. It's great. I love it.
I feel like that's like a testimony to the community vibe of it. Like it just feels
it's healthy. Nobody's going to attack you for anything.
Yeah, it just feels
ever.
Feels like I'm on a WhatsApp group.
Yeah. Okay. Why is this? Is there a reason that overflow won't work on absolute positioning? Am I going crazy? I thought I should be able to just.
Well, what do you mean?
This is, look, you see what's happening here?
Yeah, but you're not overflowing the container.
Okay, so I had overflow on the body, so I need to go to the parent of this, do
wait.
I?
Well, wouldn't it make sense to just do it on the container?
So that's why I have this.
Container?
It's not. What I'm worried.
Right.
What I'm worried about is the blur is so big that it might just like block off.
Nah, I'd just, because that that container is always going to be full bleed, right?
Yeah.
And it only blurs in the intro, or is it ever?
Yeah. I was thinking of having that as a fixed thing.
Yeah.
But
that'd probably look quite good. You could do, although. Actually,
let's have a look. Let's go into the intro.css.
There's really interesting ways you could do what you want to do. Because
see, that's overflow hidden is there, but it's not doing anything.
Does it have a
maybe? It doesn't have relative, is it?
Yeah, but it doesn't have a max width. Like, there's no height or width set on it. Oh, that's better.
Yeah, but it was the relative container that I was missing, so it's just jumping all the way out.
Yeah.
So, but this is what I meant by this. So I just need to make the body relative, I think, and it will be okay. See the way that's...
Don't just slap bandages on. It'll catch you out later.
No, I understand that. It's the issue is this bar now. There's a black bar at the top when I do that, and there's a black bar underneath. And I want that big, hefty blur.
You know why there's a black bar at the top? Because you've got some random little bit of content in the top
there. Yes, I do. That's going to be my nav bar eventually, but I want it will be on top of it, everything.
Yeah, so your nav bar would be position fixed, right?
It'll probably be absolute to go over everything as well. Because I don't want it to be fixed. I don't want it to go down everywhere when you're scrolling either.
So you don't want it to follow?
No, I don't want the nav bar. I hate when nav bars follow for some reason.
Why don't you tell me? That's what my site does.
Look, we also argued about how you love glassmorphism, okay?
My site does fixed header. Do you know why I like fixed header? Because when you scroll through like I'm reading your life story and I just want to get to another page, then I can just click the link without having to scroll up.
Yeah, that's true. That's nice.
But so you want, yeah. So how's that going to look then? So you want the header, and then
I have designs. I don't know why I'm pretending. See the way this is?
oh right. So it just sits over the top.
Yeah. You see the way the gradient's coming in behind it a little.
These ones are hard to just like, I don't know, it's just hard to speak over video how I do it because I just type it and do it.
All right, we know how to do this. We are set up and ready to go. Where's my live share?
That's why, yeah, this is why I find screencasting so hard. Because it takes me like an hour to do a clip that takes 5 minutes to show someone something. I feel like my avenue should be offering mentorship or something. It'd be so much easier for me.
Let me see if this works. I've sent you something in the private chat there.
We'll see if it works, because last time it was an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, but also...
I think that was because of your internet, though.
My internet has been so flaky. Today was the first time since I got a new router that I've had some issues. But I have a funny feeling I moved my Mac and I think it's just in an awkward position to get Wi-Fi.
Do you not have it plugged in?
No, I don't have any cabling, and I don't want to drill holes in walls because I rent.
Do you not have... Where's your router? Really far away?
There's like 2 walls between it.
Okay.
But like there's a small apartment. It's like a closet. There's a wardrobe and a closet, and then the sitting room.
Why don't you just get a PowerLink adapter?
What's a PowerLink adapter?
Oh man. That's the answer to your problems. Just search for like TP PowerLink. And then
look at that. That's nice. It's a TP-Link router I have as well. I spent a couple $100 on getting a good gaming one or a Wi-Fi 6 one.
So when I rented, I used to have, well, I've still got them. I have like a bundle of TP-Link extensions, and then what you do is you just plug one into the wall near your router, plug an Ethernet cable from the router into the power line adapter. They're called power line adapters. That's it. Then you plug it in wherever your computer is, and then you just do an Ethernet cable out of it into your computer, and it sends the Ethernet. It sends the Wi-Fi or the internet or whatever, the data through the power line, so you can have a wired connection.
That is so cool. Well, guess what's getting ordered after this stream?
Yeah, that's what you need.
My god.
That will make a world of difference, honestly.
I am such a peasant. Why didn't I know about this?
I don't know. That's like... honestly,
did you get that link?
That will change your life. Yeah, I'm just signing.
Oh. Okay, everyone's better now. I finally, it only took about an hour to get some audio. Jay joined the collaboration sale and delete.
You mean this part, right? I just jump in the code and just...
Yeah, well, just let me know what file you're in, because I have to follow you around a bit so I can see it.
I don't know if it's letting me... Oh no, wait. Yeah, I think it's working. Is it working?
Where are you, or what file are you in?
I think I was in that one. But we need to... Last time it took a while, and then it went into like a mode where it was good. So like, I'm in the same file as you, but I can't actually... I'm at line 8. There you go.
Why aren't I seeing things? Hold on, let me...
Nothing's coming through yet. I remember there was some weird quirk last time, and then it worked like seamlessly until your internet started buffering every 2 seconds.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. There's you. Is not editing a shared document.
Let me close it and then open it again. Is it intro? Intro.js sections intro. I'll go into that one.
Because you joined twice. You joined as number 1 and number 2. So, oh, hold on. There's some changes coming in. Yeah, there you are. Look.
Aha.
Perfect. Oh, I can undo your changes. That's so good. How could this go wrong? What I was also really worried about when I joined this session is I didn't put it off screen, so I wasn't sure if like a URL would just appear up on the screen. That would mean anybody could just jump in and destroy everything.
Just anyone jump in. Just everyone collaborate. That's what isn't it, there's a thing for Figma that does that, isn't there? Everyone can jump in the same document.
Yeah. So what's everyone's plans for the weekend? The chat has gone very quiet. I want to make sure people are still alive and not tired after a Friday.
Chat, give me ideas of what I should stream.
I had a great idea for you, Jay, actually today. I meant to message you right before this. You should be animating Wall Street bets right now. Like, that's the Reddit drama that's all over Twitter at the moment and all over the internet. If you Google it, there's the baby with glasses. That's just like, deal with it. Like, that is what the internet is going crazy over. It's the subreddit of the day as well. That would be so cool.
Where's that come from?
It's a subreddit that is caused this. It's the people taking on Wall Street at the moment. So,
well, you know what I've got to do, don't you? I've got to make a bear doing doing the hands up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's so cool. That would be perfect. Go on to that Reddit later. You'll have great entertainment.
Is there any like video of it? I've just seen one of these just sitting on a bear and he's got like a machine gun or something. What? Is there any like animations already of it?
There might be. They're just memeing things with it. It's very interesting. There's loads of stuff all over. That's something for you to look at after this. What time are we at? Okay, I have an hour.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to make something.
Index. What are we looking at? What was I bringing you on to do here? Why did I give you this link? We were meant to be building something, and I've completely lost train of thought.
Just to completely derail you like normal.
No, it was the overflow.
You're gonna do
the overflow.
You wanted to do a nav, and you couldn't decide on how you.
No, it wasn't the nav. It was this issue here, Jay. The overflow here,
but
without the bleed.
So? I think before you even do this, you should consider like your entire layout, because I stumble on this issue a lot, even now, like forever later, whenever I'm making these things. You'd think when you've been doing this for like however long that you just, I'm sure you do the same thing, just make the same mistakes like over and over again with just like planning markup or whatever.
Learn from mistakes. Who would do that?
I know, right? So yeah, like every time
I have an idea, actually. You've just kind of given me an idea. Is if I put those things on the layout itself.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to get at. So like, how does your design look?
One sec, I just wanted .css. Just want to make sure before I forget. It's probably broken now, is it? Yeah. Okay, so it's no directory for that. My site looks like this, except there's more colors. So I've just went and got bigger colors.
So like, how does the so as you scroll down, like
what I'm going to have is it's going to be probably the all articles for the first version.
So like how what I mean is like, how does it react to different widths? Have you thought about that yet?
It's just going to stack for the earliest version. These are done on view widths so that they'll shrink.
Right. But what I mean by it is, you know, like when we were doing your business site, how's it going to look when like I don't know. I was going to say Niall Jr., but I don't think you have children. But when he comes
Nope.
and he goes to check out Niall Maher's site on his 5440 wide screen, because he's rocking it. And how does it look
Yeah.
on that? Like, what's the max width of your content?
Good question.
Because that's how you need to think about your layout. So like your root element is going to fill the entire viewport regardless, and then
Yeah.
it's up to you. Like, so realistically, with something like this, you're going to want the initial like div is going to be, or whatever it is, the body is going to obviously be the whole thing. Then your div will be the whole thing, but then your content is like constrained, but your actual header container takes up like the entire viewport, but then its actual content is constrained to that max width, and then it flows down, if that makes sense.
Kind of. I'm gonna try get to that. I'm gonna just fix the error, and I just want to fix that so I can show you on the screen.
Yeah,
Because
there's different ways you could do it, because if you're saying that you'd like the blobs to always be there and they're kind of fixed behind, then it's probably easier because you can just fix it based on the viewport size and it doesn't really matter. And then you can just create your content and stick a nav at the top. And also, because your nav doesn't have any solid color, it'll look like all right. It's kind of how mine is done to an extent, although I just don't have like a full bleed header.
yeah. Components.
There's different ways you can approach that as well. So what I would probably advise, well, what I would usually do is I would set some max width CSS variable on root or wherever your layout is that kind of says this is the maximum it can go.
So that's the maximum those discs would go.
Yeah, so like where would I look at? So we have like styles, right? And you have index and you've got like some color palette stuff in here. But you've got because you've got Tailwind in here.
Yeah, ignore the Tailwind. I kind of deleted that. I'm not using it.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, you've got some interesting stuff in here.
That's because I use a blog template just to have like some static blog posts there and ready.
Okay.
So like anything that's not in a folder is something I haven't touched.
So I'm looking in I'm inside index CSS, and what I would probably suggest to save you hassle is and I can only speak from doing this myself and then changing everything. So like there is already a content max width thing in here, which is quite good, but there's also like you've got like different sizes and things. One thing that's inside refactoring UI is to do like this notion of like create like a sizing scale where you just like have all the sizes and then everything else uses the sizes and then you don't deviate from it, so you won't just like chuck stuff in. That's a pretty good thing to put in there. I'm just putting a comment there just in case, because I got caught with that. Like when you get deep into like, now I'm styling an article or I'm doing something, and then you just start plucking values out of your head, and that's when you start happening to get like inconsistency.
So in my index.css, I should have some sizing.
I couldn't see any, but I might be in the wrong file. Yeah, so I've just put that to do there.
Yeah, so you see the way I have that container max width, which is kind of like the max width of my site that I usually go with, of like that's as big as it can go.
So like,
so this is copied and pasted from the business site that we were working on.
So like the Tailwindy way would be, or like the refactoring UI way would be something like having a size variable like that, and then saying that this is size like that. So then you do like, you've got your sizing, But you only ever refer to sizes by the size scale unless it's something like really specific that you don't ever want to change. So like here you'd be like, oh, content max width, right? That's 48 rem every time, but you can just refer to it as content max width wherever, if that makes sense.
So
it just kind of stops you from deviating. I had this myself. Like I actually started building my site, got a bit into it because I thought I'm all right. I could just freehand this. I'll be fine. And then when I got in a bit further, I actually went back and rewrote the whole thing, opened up refactoring UI to like get some pointers, and then I was like, yeah, I need a sizing scale, because I had started writing things like text size, padding size, margin size, but it made no sense. You can still have them, and I still do in my site. I have like padding 2 or padding 4, but they're always based off that core sizing variables.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Just things like that, like, will catch you out down the road if you're not careful, I think.
Yeah, I do always put a max width as a variable. That's one thing I'm always conscious of.
Yeah, so
I copy and paste to every project just for that one thing,
I think
because that's where I always get screwed, really.
I remember what mine's set to, but I have it in here. So like, yeah, I have loads. I have like size 0 through to 17, and then size 17 is 48 rem. But what's max width? Max width is size 17, which is 48 rem. There you go. But yeah, I just got lost going down like, oh, now I'm creating another size, and now I'm creating another size.
Yeah.
I also do one where I create like I do like min control size. So, you know, like if you're on a mobile, you should really offer people at least a 44 pixel by 44 pixel touchable area.
44 is that's what the kind of rule of thumb is it?
It used to be 44, and now it's 48 supposedly. so
people's eyes are getting worse.
Yeah, I don't know, or just because screens, I guess, have more pixels on them, so technically it's slightly smaller, so you need to go bigger, I guess. But yeah, that's something I found out when I was redoing mine, which I didn't know about. I'd always assumed 44 was like the golden size.
I didn't know there was a size that was the golden size, so that's actually very interesting to.
Yeah, so they kind of say that, like, I say they, like it's just some overarching power, but yeah, they kind of say that the ideal size is 44 pixel. Like, that's good enough for someone to be able to like tap on screen and pick out something, because nothing annoys you more than like, and I'm trying not to do this, but you know, like when you're scrolling through and someone's like, oh, I made a new site, and you click on it and you go, oh, I want to click that, and I just can't click that icon because it's freaking 16 pixels big. Yeah, so that's why.
All right, I just threw in the content max width, and we have this fun. That's because you have 48 rem, isn't it?
Yeah, that's because I've changed it. So sometimes, and this is another thing I do, although 48 rem is all right, and that's what I use, obviously it's not what you want to use, but sometimes I like to set things purposely wrong or ugly, because then it makes me fix it properly, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so, I'm looking at this now, and I'm trying to figure out what is my max width.
Yeah, so but the good thing is there, like, you see, like, your intro is still completely the right width, which is good. So
yeah. So I need about 1200, I think, is my max width. So on rems,
yeah, I mean,
what am I, 16?
Rem, but you could do it'd be
no, I like rems, but I end up just like increasing, decreasing just by eye rather than doing maths.
Yeah, you can do 75 rem. That will give you about 1200. Well, it will give you 1200. 75, 16.
Where did you? Oh, you have the sizing up here. Perfect. What did you say? 75.
75.
Let's see. Minus 70. I'm going to say 74. I don't know why I don't want that odd number.
I say that there's a really good like example scale in that. I keep saying about it, but that refactoring book, like, I know some people moan because it's a It's not a hefty price when you've read it. I think once you've read it,
No, I have it. I just need to read it a couple times.
Yeah, and that's the good thing about it, because it's not like 400 pages long. You can just pick it up and refer to bits out of it. And I think that's the value in it. I know people balk at the price sometimes, but I think after you've read it, then you're like, no, actually, it's justified. Because there's a lot of golden bullets in there that just sort things out that you're trying to think of.
I need to read it again. I haven't been doing much. So during my day job, I'm doing very little UI work, you know?
It's because you're hiring people in to do it for you.
If I could do it myself, I would. I don't have the time. We have like so many projects going on that it's impossible.
You need to get this site done anyway, quick, so you can go jump on Dev 2. I have it open in a tab. I've lost the YouTube and I don't know where it's gone because I've got a billion tabs open. But
so that's 70. I like the way this feels now. What I need to do then is add my styles from the nav, or no, not the layout. It is the intro modules.
But yeah, the like, how many posts are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 of the top 5 posts on the page are glassmorphism logins.
Yeah, this is going to be so trendy. I'm going to be a fashion icon after this. Okay, that's all I'm aiming for. I was going to be like, oh, Niall's so trendy. He didn't just steal the top posts that are going on. Again, it was one of those things. I've seen a couple of things I've never done in CSS or anything. And I was like, you know, I'm never going to put this into a client site ever because it's outrageous. And I don't mind being outrageous on my own things.
Yeah, I will say, I actually had it in my header as backdrop filter to start, and then I took it out.
Okay, so we have this now, and we're going to say position fixed. Position fixed.
Well, wait, which part are you? So what are you trying to achieve here? So you've got the container.
So I have the container, and
I think it's hard to tell what's going on because the container is obviously transparent. If you give the container like a solid block color, then you can clearly see where it is.
This is the whole thing in the middle now. Thought, yeah, where's the container? I'll get this one, yeah.
So it fills the entire screen, right?
This is my container. Oh, look, this ball just dropped. I dropped the ball.
So it goes all the way.
I know this is the best comment, Paul, you've ever said, I think, because it's so true. By the time this site is done, at least glassmorphism should be good across all browsers. I like that. Wasted on development, Paul. Wasted. So, okay. Right, I'm a bit, because I'm using fixed. Fixed is off the body, isn't it? Rather than the relative container.
Fixed is an interesting one. Fixed doesn't actually, well, it sort of doesn't. It has like weird behaviors. You can use it here, but it has weird behaviors.
It does. I just realized that because I was like, oh, that didn't do what I expected. Because in my head, I was like, oh yeah, absolute. And I was like, no, wait, that's not doing that at all. So this is perfect for this instance, accidentally.
Yeah.
This is not what I intended. I was expecting to have to like push things out further. But because it's fixed, I was a bit confused for a second. I was like, I had to take a second before I said it out loud. because it feels like a fundamental that I should know really well. But it's very rare that I use it for this kind of thing, for sure.
It can definitely throw you off. I got thrown off when I was doing mine because if you, I can't remember what it is. If you transform, if you have something that's transformed and then a position fixed inside it, the actual thing won't go fixed. There's a rule like that. Something like that. A little TIL for you.
Okay, I've lost that. -7. Okay, that looks... Is that better?
Yeah.
That's close.
Yeah, so that's something to be mindful of. So depending on how if you're going to have a nav or something, or like a sliding draw when it goes lower, fixed, I have to see how or where it fits in the layout for what you want to do.
Yeah, so I'm deciding to make these balls a bit smaller so I can get a better blur, because I think they're very faded here.
Well, it's an there's another aspect to this, which could be if you know that they're going to look kind of like that and they're static, then you could just create an image.
Trust me, before I figured out there was a blur thing, that was what I was going to go for. But I decided I'll see if I can do it in CSS, and I went away like thinking, like when I started this last week, I genuinely had no idea how to do these things.
It'll probably, I don't know, depends. I mean, the thing is, it'll look consistently the same if you do it as an image.
Yeah, that's true.
You can probably get so you could just do like a transparent image with the blobs, and then you could just say, when you run it through Optimizer, you could have like WebP, AVIF, PNG, and just don't JPEG it, because it'll obviously go block background.
Yeah.
But it'd probably be like really small in file size, and it would look consistent, and you wouldn't have to implement all of this. You'd have just done like one element with a background image. So yes, it's funny. There's just different ways to do it.
All right, so like this one looks. I think an image is what I'll go for, because I can see personally the radius or the radial kind of segments here, and I don't like that.
Yeah, because you'll end up with, because different browsers will treat it slightly differently. Like it'll like as you resize, it will go slightly different, and then you'll have to try and manage like you're doing there. Like you can see they just disappear, or they're always bigger or smaller. You'll have to start doing things like give it a min height, a min width.
In fairness, this is more responsive than my last site already.
I think it just depends. Like I think if you, so I kind of went through this with my site. Like it was like, oh, I could add all the bells and whistles, but my priority really shifted. And whereas people kind of probably see me as like a whimsical, oh, there's going to be Easter eggs in here, it was more a case of, no, actually, I just want it to load in like half a second and you can see it straight away. So I'm thinking
I will end up doing that after I get it done. But what I'm super conscious of after seeing you and having that central store was that I didn't have that central store, and I really need it because my stuff is scattered. I have about 30, 40 articles, I think, in total now, which isn't all that much, but it's already getting hard to find out where they are.
I was going to say, where are they? Because the story behind mine, right, is that the year before. So right, I have like loads of articles on Medium, but I just don't go on Medium. Like I open it up occasionally, and there's like, and I'm not saying this to be like, oh, like they're doing brilliant, but I'll open it up and there'll be like 200 notifications because I just don't ever open it. Like I get emails saying like, oh, someone highlighted this, but I never go on there because as soon as they started doing like the paywall thing, I was like, oh, no one will read anything anymore. So
I do both. I put it under the paywall for people that want to read things on Medium because I do like Medium, the app and everything.
Yeah, and
I like the suggestions. There's some really good quality for things that aren't coding that I like, And I
thing
like paying
liked-
the content creators, to be honest.
the thing I liked about it was I used to like the editor experience of it. Like it used to be really good. And whenever you posted a link, it used to give you that like neat little link preview image thing. And I really like that. And you could like edit it. It was like a editable like OG card that got like embedded into the article. And that was like one of my favorite features. But then I stopped writing on there. And then like not last December, but the December before, I just started like, right, I'm going to look at whichever ones are the most popular articles because they have like the stats drawer, which no one else ever used to have, like until like Dev2 and things started popping up. And I was like, I'm going to just start converting them to Markdown. And all I did was I just started putting them into a GitHub repo as Markdown and then dropping them in Dev2. But I'd start doing that as soon as you can if you want to put everything in one place because it takes forever.
No, I will genuinely, I'm going to just be putting, because I have most of my articles in Markdown already, I'll be just putting this into a static folder here and just getting it up. And then I'll worry about getting it on Strappy or something else to have a CMS to just make it easier.
Yeah.
But I just want to get something online. And as well, I want to start a newsletter because I'm doing so many random things at the moment. I'm hiring, I'm working with startups, I'm making software, I'm also doing this stuff. And this is actually a small subsection of my whole thing at the moment. So I need to figure a way to kind of collect my thoughts and see where I'm going from month to month, and hopefully be able to give some value as well to people who might want to go from a self-taught developer to an executive level, because it's a definitely a different career path than most people have taken.
I definitely I've been deliberating whether to restart doing the newsletter. I think I started doing it last year, and I just use it as a diary really to see what I've been up to. But then I just it just becomes so much overhead to write it, and then I gradually shifted towards just shipping plain text. But then I kind of got a bit like, I don't know, I kind of lost. I missed a couple, and then I was like, do people even want to see this? So I just kind of stopped doing it. But maybe I'll bring it back. I don't know.
People are probably playing our Zoom parties. We will set up very soon, and I mean this for all the people that are always here all the time. What we'll do in February, and Jay has already agreed without even me asking him, that we'll get loads of people from the community on and do an hour or whatever and just talk nonsense and have a little bit of a Kodu community party, because there is so many people there that are always active as well.
No, well, as long as they're not camera shy.
Yeah, no, you have to be on camera to say hello.
Well, you don't have. We're not exclusive. I mean, you can come on, but it'd be nice to see people's faces.
Yeah, it'd be great to meet people as humans rather than text comments.
Yeah. I feel like newsletter is a good idea.
Yeah, so you can see I'll work on my messaging here because I haven't even figured it out, because that's why I was like exploring ideas on web development, business, and some random stuff, because I don't even know yet. But I said what I'll do now is I'll worry about getting an email, and then I'll write an email to that one person that signs up.
Well, I'm thinking this is actually something I don't know, and I guess you might know it. So I obviously created a tiny letter, and what I was doing was I was just sending out like a list of everything I was making and stuff I was doing, but it just became an absolute nightmare to maintain and create every month. Like it was taking forever to do. And then I just slowly went to like a text list. But I do actually have like some people that were signed up to it. But if you were to switch who you use, do you just like export, drop them in somewhere else, and just kind of
depending on who your vendor is? So if it was the likes of, and I'm really considering this now because I have so many avenues of, say, somebody might be interested in the business aspect, somebody might be interested in the coding tutorials. So I'm thinking of using, what is the name of it?
I want to try out Review, because that was the one that was shared the other day, and I thought that actually looked really easy to write in.
Is that the Twitter one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks interesting. I might try that. But make sure you can export your contacts. That's all. Once you own.
Well, I can see the thing to export, but I didn't know how it works because, like, I'm a bit of a, I want to make sure that everyone, like, I'm not stitching people up or anything. Like the GDPR kind of stuff and things like that.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if it's just literally a case of like, oh, you can just export and drop them in somewhere else, and then just give them a heads up, like, oh, you're now being sent through this instead. I don't know. But I don't have a lot of newsletter experience. That's the thing. It was just a case of like people were like, "Oh, you should do a newsletter." So I tried it.
I've started listening to somebody. Who's the guy who created? Let me see. I'm going through my Spotify here. Who is the Nathan Barry who did? What's that? What's the expensive newsletter platform that everyone uses?
I don't know many. I know, is it ConvertKit, MailChimp?
ConvertKit. He runs ConvertKit, but he's a developer by trade, and he started this out of a necessity of thinking things are done wrong. Very interesting. He runs his podcast. He gets a lot of people who even sell paid newsletters, and they talk about how to create value every week or every month for people. And it's really interesting how he's talking about it, because they write one blog post basically a month, but intertwine all those links and bits for the newsletter. And it's very interesting how they do it. There's even structure. Some people give you like ways that they collect the data to make it useful.
Yeah, you might have to link me to that and I can give it a listen.
Yeah.
It's quite, I don't know, it's like we've obviously chatted back and forth about random stuff, but I was just saying, like, having a bit of a step away from things kind of like makes you kind of realign your priorities, I guess. And I was just kind of thinking, like, exploring things like that is going to be way more beneficial for actually learning and sharing stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
The irony is that I'll probably need to go on Twitter and ask people what they want from a newsletter.
Yeah. Yeah, but like that's fine until once you have something to go with, Let's see, this is links, isn't it?
I think that's where I get lost. Like you're saying, like you've got like a tagline on your site there, and it's kind of like I don't really know what people expect or want.
I think for me as the outsider, why I love watching your stuff is you're literally one of the most creative developers I interact with anyway, for sure. And I think most people, and actually just a side note, because I'm sure that chat will probably agree with me here, you don't have to be sober for that party, because I probably won't be by the end of it, if I'm honest. Just as an yeah, Jay is good. I'm waiting until I can get Jay to Dublin before I get him drunk.
Like, will that happen before we're 40? That's what I'm hoping,
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have beards by then.
Like, honestly, this is like, I'm not just saying it. Like, I haven't had a drink. This is Monster. I don't actually drink. I had like some Irish cream at Christmas. That is like my extent. But it's one of the things I'm really looking forward to, is the fact that like I'll actually be able to meet some people that I've met since I've not been able to meet people, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be really cool. And then you'll really find out if you actually like these people or not.
It's true. The two of us will meet. I'll get you way too hungover, and you'll be like, "I'm never talking to that person again."
Yeah, but I love Ireland. So well, don't forget, I did work at Nearform, and I got to go over, and I love that place. If anyone in the chat hasn't been to Ireland, go to Ireland. It's so nice and chill. It's awesome.
Align items, display flex. What am I doing here? I need to, because I'm talking, I'm just here adding code and not even doing it. But yeah, on the note of what I would expect would be the creative code content. And that's what I would be always talking about, because even as much as you hate people talking about the CSS and things, but it's not just CSS that shows your creativity. The Vincent van Git and things like that, it's such a creative outlet. So I'd be
Yeah.
saying for interesting usages of CSS and JavaScript, and
I
that
have
is
got like a so it's kind of funny because I kind of been trying to make those like small videos and things. Like today, I've put up like a 2-minute blog post of like how to make elements full screen. It's just one of them though. I don't know if you ever get this. Like you have a post in your head, it doesn't turn out how you want, but you just need to post it to get it out of the way. Does that make sense? Like even if you expect nothing of it, you just like I just want to hit send, publish, and it's done. But on the creative coding thing, I am meant to be recording how to make tic-tac-toe with CSS, like only.
tic-tac-toe with CSS only.
Yeah.
And is that going to be just like see those sort of kind of tricks? Because I
Yeah.
think another thing that a lot of people don't realize, I think especially early on when you start React and everything, you hit everything with JavaScript. You're just like, JavaScript, that's all I need, just the tag. It's just, but it's not. You could get out of so many situations by knowing HTML and CSS that you don't need any JavaScript for it.
Yeah, and it's quite I don't know. It's an interesting. So it's like it'll be an egghead set of lessons, but it's kind of an interesting one because when we first like scoped out the curriculum for it, I was kind of like I was really busy. I think that was when I started doing the Nike stuff, and I was kind of like, I just don't know if people will be that into it. But the more I thought about it, and then like the feedback was, you know what, just record it and go with it. But it's one of them, like no one's ever going to need it, but you'll probably learn things from doing it because there's some strange stuff in there, if that makes sense. So like there's loads of stuff in there. There's like how to animate SVG, how to use native like form elements for interaction, how to do like those kind of things. So I don't know. It's interesting, but it's why I'm just not great at screencasting yet. It's a real stress for me when I have to sit down and do it.
Well, this week I had one of those weeks where I tried to sit down and record a video like 3 times this week, and I couldn't get one out. It was just one of those bad weeks because my head was elsewhere all the time because of how busy I've been. And it was only after you said to me, just, what are you doing it for? And I was like, yeah, you're right. I just calm down. I don't owe everyone this. So
you really don't.
It's not my job for sure. I need to do it to enjoy it, and I'm doing it to learn. And I realize that's why I do it, is to build a network and build a community and build some fun stuff.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Like, so I know I mentioned like I posted something earlier. I posted that and I was like, do you know what? Like, why have I even posted this? Like, it's all right. Like, you learn maybe something from it in 2 seconds, but it's not very useful. Whereas I really should have been writing about like either how to generate those OG images or like how to add sounds to your site, like the stuff that's actually interesting. And my priority's kind of been the wrong way. I need to sort myself out. I need to write cool stuff.
Yeah, and that's what like funny enough, I gave a presentation today to a lot of business people, non-technical people, on what an API means or what it is. And I had to condense that idea into plain English for non-technical founders. And I was just like, this is perfect video content because it might be basic, but it's for everyone. You don't have to be a coder. And in fact, I think for a lot of coders that are starting out, it might help as well. But after I did that today, I was like, I had content all this week and I didn't even know it.
Yeah, I think with me, I need to lean away from. So I kind of got hooked on this kind of like, maybe like you've kind of echoed it there. Like I should be creating lessons on like the basics of like doing things, or like, but I should really just lean into what I like doing, and that's just like making random stuff, because people seem to enjoy that more, and I enjoy making it more. So I don't know why I just don't do that. But
that's what makes it interesting as well.
Yeah.
That That's it. Party in Dublin after COVID. Praveen, you better start worrying about getting flights. I know you're a student as well, so you're. It's going to be the hardest one for you to get flying over there, or else we're all going to have to fly to India.
That is, well, as long as he's covering the airfare.
Yeah, it might be cheaper for him to come to Dublin if he's covering the airfare for us. But you know what? It's really nice to have people nearly in every city in the world now that you can say, hey, let's have a beer or a coffee and just say hello and talk nonsense about tech.
I've not actually, I've not actually been to Dublin. Like, I've been in Dublin, but I've not actually stayed in Dublin. Like, I've gone there to obviously fly in there and then go elsewhere. So I've not actually been around Dublin. You actually live in Dublin, don't you?
I am a 15-minute walk from Stephen's Green, which is like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I'm in Grafton Street walking. So cool. I'm smack bang. Where I am is actually really quiet. It's like a hidden little laneway. I'm beside one of the ex-presidents of Ireland. So we have this like little hideaway it's like just this hidden spot in Dublin, which is really nice.
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, because I've only been over the once, and that was for NodeConf, like not last year, the year before.
Matteo is the main man for that, I suppose. You had to go. It was probably a business trip, was it?
Yeah, well, it's near form event, so I was fortunate to be allowed to go. So I spent the week like there, which is really cool. That was when we got like the Node watches, which are like awesome.
I have somebody from Nearform starting with me next week.
Do you? Who is it?
I can't. I won't say. It's not development, but I'll tell you offline.
Oh,
I don't want to. Just in case. Yeah, just in case. I don't know if I'm even meant to be saying anything, but yeah, I'm really excited about that as well.
Nearform's an awesome company.
Really good. I always recommend them to everyone as well. To be honest,
they're very casual as well. Like, there's no. It's kind of an interesting one though as well, because it's like there's a lot of people that work for the company, but like you might not necessarily meet or know any of them. Like all of them. Like for example, I didn't know a lot of people until they have like an annual company retreat where everyone sort of goes out to some location which changes each time, and then you get to meet other people from across the company, which is really cool. But yeah, they like you'll only know the people that are on your projects. So like the way it works is like they have different clients and they basically pick teams out for those projects. So you'll know the people that worked on the projects you get to go on, because it's like a remote first company if people don't know. But yeah, it's really cool. It's the company I've enjoyed working for the most.
And it's interesting you say that, because we are obviously in the same space, so there's no way of messing around. And I've definitely taken some inspiration from how that works, in a sense of having that remote first approach. But also what I've really liked about the whole thing more than anything is literally I put out a tweet today. I was like, hey, do you want to work with me? Because I am not just stuck with developers right here in Dublin.
No,
I just literally said, if you're willing to have some overlap in the hours, come join us. It's great.
Well, that's why, like I say again, like that's the company. So I haven't worked for a lot of companies full time, but that is the one company I really enjoyed working for full time, because it felt like I was still doing freelance work. Like they really trust their employees, which is nice. Like it's a good setup.
Yeah, that's excellent. That's what you want. That's everything, isn't it? We say that in interviews now as well. We're always just like, once you're responsible, I don't want to talk to people about, are you working enough? Could you imagine me doing that, Jay? Really, to be honest, it's just not my style. So unless I'm having problems, then somebody's genuinely not working or just not turning up.
Like everyone's different. Like, I mean, you know me a bit, but can you imagine what I'm like when people try and like micromanage me? Like I'm a nightmare.
But I am also a nightmare to micromanage, and that's why I don't do it to people, because I know, like, I think high performers just do their own thing, but they get it done.
Yeah.
So you hire people who you can trust to get things done, and they might sit on their hands for 2 weeks to make a challenge for themselves. But as long as they say they'll get it done,
I'm
perfect.
really like that. Like but then it's weird. Like you can get away with it. So I've always been kind of fortunate, I guess, that at the start, like I'd get things done quick, and then now I'm like exactly what you said. Like I'll be like, it's fine. Like I know if I sit down for like a 4-hour block, I'll smash that out. So like I manage myself around it. I don't know. It's kind of that's how you end up being able to juggle everything. And then it does
for sure.
Sometimes then you have to do the all-nighter. But you know.
Agreed. I'm working with an awesome guy called Gus at the moment, a Brazilian guy who lived in Japan, and he's moving to Europe at the moment. Really excited to meet him in person as well. Crazy guy, lunatic. I hope he's listening to this, just because he is an absolute lunatic, but super talented. And I love that attitude of people that are just true thoroughbred nerds, just to want to do stuff and enjoy doing it and enjoy the challenge of it.
I see Paul's comment.
Yeah.
He's not negotiated with me, Paul. What's going on?
Did I got so much good feedback from that tweet. It's unbelievable. I didn't think it was going to be an avenue. It was one of those kind of things. I was like, I'll just throw that. We landed a big new project today, and I was like, I need several more people on my team. So as a result, I put out that tweet just to see if anyone would throw me over a CV. I have, on average, I'd say one CV every 10 minutes now.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah,
that's really good. See, that's like that kind of echoes back to what I was saying. Like I couldn't stay off the platform because, like, surprisingly, and like again, like I do get a lot of like speculative messages like, I saw you made this thing on here, would you be up for talking about this? And it's like, it's weird how much of a how much the platform helps, like with kind of things like that. It's just become a real kind of hub for people being able to find work. But there are other ways if you don't want to be on there.
It is good to have a personal brand. Export default function footer. It's. I've only learned that since COVID, I think, because I was all in person. I don't care about online. I did nothing online before COVID. Nothing. I got a camera for my last workshop because somebody asked me to record it, and I wasn't even sure about posting it online. And since then, that's what started me to put anything online. And I mean, getting to go, like, thanks to likes of Danny, even talking Google Memphis and things like that, just immediately at the start of that, just kind of was the catalyst to get lots of people in the network and put stuff out there. It's very interesting how quickly things can change when you put yourself out there as well. You had a tag senior there. I did. At the moment, Praveen, I am only hiring seniors, and there's a reason for that, and that is, if I hired juniors now, I wouldn't have the bandwidth to support them. If I will hire juniors in the future, but you need to have a good core team of senior engineers who can teach junior developers. No point in just getting juniors in who won't learn from people, or you're just kind of hoping they'll work as seniors. Anytime I'll bring people in, it's because I want them to learn as well. So it's not going to be a case of, You are less expensive than a senior engineer, so I'm going to hire you. That's not the way I'll ever work. Footer. But on that note, Praveen, when I do, I'm sure I will be in contact with you straight away. So don't be worrying too much. You'll be probably well snapped up by then, though, as well. It's interesting how smart, like even the likes of Praveen is, compared to. Well, I always put it to myself when I was learning this stuff. I was nowhere near like as intelligent to even know about frameworks or what's going on, or that I needed to know more than anything. I was genuinely, when I did some website development, I was building things in tables and Dreamweaver, and I thought I knew how to do web development. So it's funny how much that's changed then when you jump into the JavaScript ecosystem. Let's get this footer out. You still there, Jay? You alive?
I am, sorry.
Yeah. I thought you died on me.
Nah, I'm still
here. Are you streaming tonight, or are you taking the evening off?
I'm tempted, but do you know what? I'm tempted to flip it and stream on YouTube.
Do it. You should. Jesse gave you a push this week, didn't he?
Yeah, and I've uploaded a short video every day this week.
Jesse was one of the main guys who was so interested in you joining that Discord and everything as well. He's a big fan of your work. So what a gent, in fairness. He's one of the nicest people just to chat to as well.
Yeah, he's a top person. And I kind of feel like, because he's really helped, like he bumped me up to the over 100 mark. So not that YouTube's something I'm really going in on, but I have had people ask about it before, and I was like,
it's searchable. Do you know, I think it's 15% of my traffic comes from Google search.
Yeah, so I'm kind of tempted to do some more stuff on there. And he like give me that shout. He's kind of give me a push really, because I kind of thinking like, yeah, maybe I will do some YouTube stuff as well.
Look at this argument that's going on in there. Sorry, they're talking about when I mentioned tables for CSS. Grid is the new table. Flex is the new table. Remember having to do all that table stuff though?
Do you know what I always live by? So like in most of my pens, I normally make like the body, display, flex, align items, center, justify content center, right? To just a min height 100 VH every time, because I normally want something aligned center. But I've recently shifted my habit, and now I just do display grid place item center. And, I'm shifting.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the grid since I got used to it. It's good to have both.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it's just like, oh, that's a 2-liner, and now everything's centered. So
I completely derailed your last statement. It was just when I was seeing that laughing. What were you saying there, Jay?
I was just saying, for like every time I create a code pen, normally I have something centered in the middle, and I'd always go for like flex, align item center, justify center, min height 100. But now I'm trying to shift my habit, and now I'm going for like display grid, place item center, done.
I'm still, because it was only I started learning grid when we started building the business side. I never used grid ever before that, because I hadn't needed it, or I didn't think I needed it. But as soon as I used it, I was just like, yeah, this is obviously what you're meant to use.
Well, there's one thing I would love to see with grid, and I kind of had this come up when I was doing my site, and I was like, oh, I wish you could do that with grid. But you know how? So if you've done a bit of grid, do you know like how grid template areas work?
Yes, kind of. That's the 1F4, 2F4, that kind of thing, or
No, so like when you could do like you'd say grid template areas, and then you'd be like header, 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 aside, body, body, aside, body, body, and then
But
like
yeah, I haven't gone that far down the rabbit hole then yet.
yeah, you can create like named sections of a grid, and then
Yeah, no, I have done. Yeah,
and you can drop stuff into those name sections. But what would be amazing is if like you could do like wraparound areas. So like if you had like say you had like a 4-piece grid, and then you said like the top part, like I don't know, say it's like a 2x2, and we say like X1, Y1 is one area, and then the rest of it is another one. So it like wraps around. Then you could like have your content flow like underneath and around whatever was in the first block.
do you?
And that would be so cool. Like then you wouldn't have to use a float or something.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, can you not like mix something like Flex with that to do that?
Well, you're kind of trying to create an L-shape block element, which doesn't really exist.
Yeah, that's true.
That's it'd be so cool.
Yeah, there's so many things. In fact, I don't know what it was. I was working with a person there recently who, what was it? The right click to copy styles from an element on Chrome. So he just opened that up as an issue in Chrome and said, "Hey, is there any chance we could get this?" 1 week later, it was in it. So that was only in the last 6 months that he was just getting annoyed. One of the guys I was working with, he's like, "I just opened an issue. I don't even think they'll open it." And he's like, "Hey," a week later, he was like, "Yeah, they actually added that straight away."
There's some really cool stuff in DevTools that keeps dropping. Like really cool stuff. Like just really easy, not like easy things, but just really convenient things that are like subtle. So like even things like the contrast checker, like that is so good. But you have like if you don't know it's there, like you'd probably just be like looking.
You should be doing an ebook and a video course on that, even because of the performance metrics that you know so well from all your animating and the likes of those little things. Because one of my top videos is the thing I stole from you. I put a big like the start of the video was Jay showed me this. The whole thing. Like it wasn't even. I was like, "This is Jay showed me this thing," because obviously we all learned something from somewhere. So it'd be silly if I was just like, "Oh no, Jay taught me that. I'm not ever talking about that as a teacher."
I mentioned this with Chris in the Discord the other day. I was like, "Oh, the thing that's been annoying me is people just like rip off other people and then just don't even credit them. Like, there's no harm in crediting people.
Costs nothing. If anything, it just shows that you appreciate how you learn things, but how you learn things, it's good. We all learn from each other. I have never worked with somebody who I haven't learned at least one trick from. Even the most junior of developers that I've worked with have always been able to just like pull something out that I wasn't reading, and they just showed me something. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Then you go away and feel really insecure.
Yeah, like 100%. Like you do find things. Like I can't remember what project it was on. I was on a project, and it kind of came about that like naturally I was leading this project or something, and someone kind of was like, it was in a PR review or something, and I think that's like the best place to like show humility, because you can learn so much when people kind of reason about how they've done something. That's when you like can consume a lot, because you can just see it right there on the page, right? And something come up, and I was just like, oh man, like just eureka moment. Like, why did I not think about it like this? And then you just get stuck in your ways because you've been doing it for ages. Like, humility is such a important soft skill. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on that term sometimes, but
no, I agree. I started doing this thing directly to practice humility, because there's no way to do this perfectly unless I have this pre-done on another screen. There's no way, and especially even this is probably the biggest test humility. I literally just don't know what I'm doing with this site because I've never done glassmorphism or blurred out content. So I was like, you know what, this is the best way to learn, because show people, because I know I've been pretty successful in my career, and I think it's important that to show people that might see you on a pedestal because you're in a position above them or whatever else, that you still have the same problems as absolutely everybody else, that you have to learn it.
So the last two Twitch streams I did are trying to build that like infinite card slider, and I just gave up. Like I just couldn't get it to work. It was just frustrating. And then I posted in the Green Sock forums like, is there actually a way to do this? And the initial response back was like, this is really hard to do. Like it's not easy to do. And I just thought, oh, okay. And then a day later, they actually came back with that solution for the one I've shown you. And they were like, yeah, this is pretty advanced, but you can do it. So like they took it as a challenge. So I felt kind of good because like I'm learning something from it. It's taken me a few days to actually digest the solution. I'm trying to write an article for it, and it's complex how it works. But it was quite cool because it kind of challenged them, and they learned something from it, or were able to show me a technique, and then I'm going to gain from it. And you know, when you think like, oh, I know how to use this, someone can show you like something completely different. You'd be like, wow.
That's the way it should be. That's the way it always should be.
And it's like, I mean, that thread, I'll be sharing that thread when I write the article, and people can read it. Like, honestly, the responses I've written are like, you have to scroll through them. Like, they're huge, because I'm like, I want to know exactly how to do these little things. But if you know a little bit of Green Sock, right? Because you've seen some of my stuff, like how you write a timeline.
I am going to do it as a tutorial, because I'm literally working for the new Spark site on, like, we have a model of think, build, deliver, and I want to do a wavy scrolls animation. I was like, that's my project for Green Sock. But yeah, I've been looking into it. So yeah, fire ahead.
You know, you can always draft me in for that stuff anyway if you need me. But so the thing with Green Sock, right? People often look at it and they think, oh, that's for animating things that I see, things that are visual. But that's not really what, I mean, it does do that, and it does it very well, and that is a big selling point of it. But the true power of it is that you can animate anything, like anything. It doesn't have to be something you see. It can be meta, like, you know. So one of my demos from last year is like, I'm animating the volume, or the playback head of an audio track to scrub it when I did that DJ thing. So I'm not actually
animating. That's GSOC.
Yeah, so like I'm animating a value, not a thing. And that's what's so clever about it. And that's when you take it to like a head exploding level, is when you actually start animating meta. So like in that infinite scrolling demo, which I showed you earlier, that's actually, so this is crazy, right? The scroll trigger scrubs a timeline, which animates another timeline, which animates another timeline. And what's happening is it's like scrubbing a playback head on two paused timelines to make it look like the cards are infinite. It honestly blew my mind.
Sorry, I just need to fire a comment in the chat there. It's to me, that's absolutely bizarre that you can trigger. But I guess it's cascading effects, really. But
yeah, so one of the goals.
But that, just remembering that, because I struggle with one timeline. Okay, so even just normal keyframes and things, I always get I get lost. But that comes with how much you practice those animations. You're practicing. Like, and that's the other thing that a lot of people don't appreciate. They're like, "Oh, Jay just gets it." Like, you're doing it on streams so many times a week.
Yeah,
and
it's kind of, well, this one though, it's just nuts. It's just meta, but it's gonna be, yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be cool. The goal of my article is to basically draw it out like a, educate like I'm 5, so people understand it. But even I'm struggling to get my head around it at the moment. So,
Would you believe this? I think if I'm really good, I could get this online in the next 2 streams, I think. Because I have a footer, I have this. What I do need to go and do a bit of reading on how to do is how to build an API with Next to trigger the subscribe.
that does look good.
So it's starting to come together, though.
What will that subscribe do? Like take you to a provider, or do you have like
It's
an
going.
API?
I'm going to have to build an API that will with Next.js, which is going to be fun because I haven't really done too much of that yet with Next.js. But I'm going to call the ConvertKit API probably to.
Oh, cool. So they have an API you can just.
Yeah. But not just simply like I can't just hit this. It's a little bit more like it's a request you have to make. So I have to structure the request with a post request. So I can't just send a normal request. I think I need an API for it. I looked at it. It didn't look too simple. I might be overcomplicating it. But it's I think I'll need to build my own API to do it properly. All these timelines. A Marvel movie. That's exactly what it's like.
That. So, do you know? I mean, I can't remember if his handle is still this, but David K. Piano. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Right. So, or David Korshid. Basically, there's a pairing of Stephen Shaw and David Korshid, or I'm not sure if I got the pronunciation right. But they do the keyframers, and they do like animation and like front endy kind of things on YouTube. They used to do it on Twitch, but I think they're fully YouTube now. But it's quite funny. There was like a Green Sock quote from him where he was like, you can do most things with CSS, but like if you're doing if you're using Green Sock, like, or it was something like, why do I need Green Sock? I'm not creating a Michael Bay film or something like that.
That is so good. Yeah, because that's what I haven't found. And I tend to just learn things for professional reasons. It's only since I started creating content that I've kind of went way off on a tangent to just say, "Oh, this is cool."
Yeah.
So for me, then that's what it always looked like going that deep into animation. I couldn't figure out. I was like, "How am I going to commercialize this?"
Yeah, that's like. It's funny because I've probably been using Green Sock quite a while now, but like, yeah, the commercial. I don't get loads of like leads for like animation stuff. Like that'd be the key. Like if I could just make whimsy for living, that would be nice. What are you doing here? Pulling in simple icons?
I need some icons.
SVGR them.
What is the name of it?
SVGR. Are you going to use that? I don't know.
What's SVGR?
I'm pretty sure we did this on your last stream. So
yeah, we talked about SVGR, but I totally forgot. SVGR is the new.
It's just a way like you hook it up to do importing SVG as a React component.
There you go. You did. I was like, is it a format or is it an extension?
No, because I see loads of people basically doing things like, oh, here's how to, use this icon library, and it's like, you don't need to use an icon library. You can just grab the SVGs and drop them in. But yeah, there you go. You can just use nextconfig, add a rule for SVG, and just use SVGR webpack. Done.
Nice. That's do they have? Is that in here or is that a separate package?
I just found a little thing for you. There you go. It's a little Medium article. Oh, you have dark mode on yours. That looks.
I only changed that recently. I was on a stream and something made me feel really jealous. It was Gwen was doing a stream, and we were planning out a project together, and she had a dark mode, and I was so jealous because mine was blinding me when I was looking at my own after seeing hers.
No, this SVGR is the way to go for me, I think. Especially when you start doing things like creating your own icons. Like sometimes some things just aren't quite how I want them, so I want to make it myself. So I'll just like whip up an icon.
So this does.
So yeah, you'll be able to just pull in any SVG as like a, and then just add props to it like it's a normal component. So that's the output. You don't have to do any of that. You just import.
All right, how do I add this? Where is my start?
If you go to like, so you need to do the whole Webpack thing. So there's like an actual package for this. So you need.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the.
Yeah, if you just do like a yarn add SVGR Webpack.
Is that what it's called? I'm just trying to find a name. So because I always misspell things and end up with like loads of weird things.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just at SVGR/Webpack.
Why can't I find it?
I'm surprised it's not. Is it Create React app that it's included with, or is it? I'm not sure. I can't remember. I know one of these it's included with now.
Yeah, no, that's that's a CLI they're giving me.
Yeah, just drop in a. Do you want me to ping you it? If you just search, for SVGR/Webpack on Google.
Yeah, I see it now. Look at that yarn ad. Yeah, I found it here. It's a really this is the weirdest documentation I've seen in a while. In fairness,
SVGR is good. It's one of those just saves a lot of hassle. Because what it'll do is it'll like convert things. So like if you do have a interesting looking SVG,
I was on Hero Icons just a minute ago actually. So I have tried it. They don't have the social icons that I wanted, but have you seen the Hero Icons? They're the Tailwind. The guy that's the designer from Tailwind does Hero Icons, and you can just copy paste them in React form. All this stuff. It's pretty slick.
It's interesting because then like you can copy the JSX, but then if you're going to use something like it depends how many you're going to use, but I would just take the SVG still and use SVGR, and then I don't need to create loads of component files.
Well, I know I'll need a few, and that's the reason I'm going to set them up, because I'm going to have like 2 links and then social icons, and then down here I'm going to have 2 links and a social icon. So there's going to be a couple usage of them.
The way you can do it then is you can literally just drop like everything you need into assets SVG or whatever, and then just you don't have to care. Like you can just import them. So then if you want to change the SVG later on, you don't have to faff around with creating a different component or whatever. You just swap the file.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing I like. So if you take the neat SVG, like say for example, you had, it's not one that comes up a lot, but like say you had some SVG icon and you were like, I'm not too sure about that piece of it. I just want to modify it slightly. Like it's going to be a pain if that's inside of React. If you've only got it in JSX, like it would just be like, But if it's an SVG, you can just open it in Figma and change it and then save it, and it, done.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we have it. So let's figure out how this works before I finish up. What time is it? Yeah, I'm going to finish in 2 minutes then, because I have food is going to be delivered at 1:15, so I can't be late. I have some Spanish.
Start. How about
that? Yeah, I have Spanish food arriving at 1:15, so I'm really looking forward to that. Not chicken wings for once, Jay. Amazing.
I love chicken wings.
I absolutely love it as well. But the chicken wing place that I love is closed during COVID. All right, so now what do I do to use this? I just import SVGs.
Yeah, so you just import them straight up as a component name.
Okay, so should I have like an icons folder and components then? Is that how you'd sort these, or would you have an icons folder?
So you could do. I would like have them inside some kind of SVG folder. Like if I had like icons or assets SVG or something like that, and then I'd just be like.
So the only reason I'm not doing that is because there is a public folder for all those things, but we're not going to use that because we're going to sidestep it.
Yeah, so you want it under like a source directory or something like that.
Yeah, SVGs. Let's take this out actually. I updated my VS Code recently, and it's been awesome. See, I have everything on the right now, and
I don't know how you can do that.
Do you know what? It's been so much better because this doesn't start coming in and out the whole time.
Yeah, but I don't know. I have my VS Code set up kind of different to you. So like,
yeah, I've done a lot of changes. I got the open editors gone. I've got the.
So I have mine constantly in. So I don't have any of that stuff on the right that you have.
Like, you've hidden it all, have you?
Yeah, so I have like so Egghead has like a recommended VS Code settings thing that hides a load of stuff, and then most of the time, all I do is just command / to hide and show the Explorer. So like I don't really notice the left panel, and I feel like if it was on the right, it would just throw me off.
I'm used to it now. It took me a week to get used to it, though. To be fair,
and plus it just looks weird because it's all left aligned and it's on the right, and I just can't be dealing with that.
It's the little things, isn't it?
It's just design-wise, it just looks wrong in my head.
Why? How come you keep adding this section here, Jay? You keep closing a section here.
I've not even got it open.
Look, it says you're here.
It says I'm in intro, but I'm not doing anything.
For some reason, it just yeah, that's not what we want.
I was doing something, but yeah, I'm not doing anything. I've just got that file open.
So I can just import an SVG now. Import.
Yeah, so I think you can just import it as whatever you want to call it. So like you could just be like Twitter icon, from, and then just point at that thing and then just drop it in as a prop. And then you could just do like, for example, do a fill prop on it of like blue just to check. Or if you want, I can try and guess the HSL off the top of my head if you like. I think I know roughly what it is. So yeah, you don't even. You could just do straight up.
The only reason I'm doing that is because I have them spaced with flex, so I'm just adding containers randomly at the moment, just to.
Why don't you just? I guess you'd wrap it in an anchor tag anyway. But yeah, if you just do that.
Yeah, I will. They'll all become anchors, but for now.
If you just do a fill, and then let's go with a string, and let's go HSL 195. 90%.
Where's the percent on this keyboard? It's funny. I'm looking at my keyboard because I'm not used to typing standing still. And what's the last one?
I reckon 65%, maybe.
And what do you think it is? Let's see if it's right. What do you?
Light blue-ish. Hopefully.
Ah, yes.
Where is it? Is it anywhere?
Do you know what I bet I need to do? I bet I just need to start the server again.
Oh yeah, it'll need Webpack to sort itself out. I love how quick Next is though when you use it. This is like instant whenever you're loading stuff. It's so good. Why is it not showing? Is there anything there? You might need a height, but it shouldn't do because there should be a height on the icon.
No, it's there. Look.
Oh, right. Yeah, it needs a height because it hasn't got a height declared. It's just a view box. So just give it like a width or a height. Yeah, just give it a height of 24, something like that, just so it matches the view box. And then just save it. You won't need a width. It will just sort itself out.
Oh, look at that. That's so cool. That is nearly spot on. I am really impressed. I was about to slag you and say this HSL stuff, you can never learn that off. But here you are. You have totally shown me up here because that is absolutely perfect.
I keep telling people, I keep preaching, everyone needs to learn HSL. You can just.
I want to because of refactoring UI, and it's just taking kind of like what I did with this. I just forced myself to start doing it for everything. And now all of a sudden I love it.
But how good is that, right? So now you can just like import any icon as a component and just, if you want to, like, so you could, for instance, if you just went and changed the content of your twitter.svg file and just swapped it for like the Instagram one, it'll just reload and it'll be fine.
That's amazing.
Really cool.
That's really cool. That is super cool. I'm a big fan of that. That's a big chunk of this site done. I think next week I should be able to actually finish this off. At least have a draft one to have some posts up.
Maybe you'll finish it if I don't come on.
I got everything I wanted to do this time. I wanted to figure this out. I wanted to get the navigations in. So I need to line up links and things.
I think
potentially. Look, it's going to be simple, but I think it looks a little bit different, I think.
The thing is, I think like it's one of them, just get something deployed because you'll always be thinking of changes. Like I already thinking of like what I want to change mine with, and it's like.
Well, what I'm already thinking because of your madness is how I can get my OG images in the cards now I'm gonna sort
as that things. Don't worry, I've got an idea. I've got an idea for you.
Because I'm even just thinking like a corner of that as an image would be nice or something like that.
No, I've got a little idea for you. I don't know if I might have to do a bit of messing around with it, but yeah, we'll
talk about that after. Right, I'm going to end the stream here unless anyone has any questions or wants to bully me a little bit more because of my sensitive soul.
Before you cry into some takeout.
Yeah, exactly. All right. I'll see everybody next week. Jay, thanks a million as always for coming and saving me derailing me.
I'll be here if you need me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we still have to get our own project up and going for this. I still want to do the social app for people as their own software as a service startup, since everyone has a SaaS startup at the moment anyway. So we might as well just do it.
We need to get something going, even if it's that other idea.
Oh, the other idea. I love how everyone's like, do you know what? It's so funny. I hope I have not ordered it. My girlfriend's ordered it. She is Spanish, so I'm hoping it's paella, but she doesn't want me to order that from a takeout because she said it doesn't travel well. So we'll see. Let's have a look. Hopefully it's not coming from Spain, or else I won't be eating till tomorrow.
Tune in next week when Niall has food poisoning.
Yeah, no, it should be safe. I'm not cooking for myself, so it'll be all right.
Okay. Travel well. It might have.
And thanks, Stefan. Enjoy your weekend. Yeah, absolutely. And until next week, see you later.